Good evening and welcome to the Tasmanian Premier League Football Show. Good evening to my co-host Ken Morton.
Good evening, Walter.
How are you, Ken?
Well, thank you.
And our special guest tonight is Melinda Minstrel, a top female player in Tasmania. Melinda plays for University. She also represents Southern Tasmania. She has played professionally in Japan and semi-professionally in the United States. Welcome, Melinda.
Thanks very much, Walter.
We'll have a look now at the women's intra-state match between the South and the North. Now, Melinda, you were an integral part of the Southern team. How did you see the game?
I was quite impressed with the Northern side. I thought they possessed the ball, passed it around quite well. The Southern side, I don't think we connected quite as well. Part of that could be due to not having trained much together beforehand. But all in all, it was a good, fun competition. I'm glad we came out with a win.
You must have been pleased with the 2-0 win.
Yes, I was, and I didn't necessarily think that it reflected the game, quite honestly.
Yes, some people would say that the North had more possession and more chances, but a 2-0 win is not to be scoffed at. And you scored the second goal, Melinda. Would you like to talk us through that?
It was a free kick, and all game, I think everyone had struggled with the wind and placing the ball in the wind. That was the one time I guess I judged the wind correctly, and struck it as low and firm as I could so that the wind would only take it a bit, and it brought it right into the upper corner. So
you have a reputation for being quite deadly at set pieces, Melinda. In the state final a couple of weeks ago, you scored direct from a corner and landed another corner on the crossbar. Do you practice these?
Believe it or not, Walter, I think I've just gained these skills in the last couple of weeks. I've always been a defender, so it's quite fun to get to play a more offensive position and get to have those opportunities. So I'm really enjoying it.
We saw young Hannah Manuela there in defence. She was a late inclusion in the squad. She played very well, Melinda.
I thought Hannah's composure on the ball, as we see here, her composure on the ball and her distribution was fantastic. She knew when to clear the ball and she knew when to bring it down and pass it around. I thought she did a very good job in sweep run.
And Nicole Hale, she was quite aggressive as an attacker.
Yes, I think that, well, she played on a few different areas on the pitch. She played up front and midfield and marking back. I think we were probably trying to push forward too often, particularly going into the wind, when maybe we could have been coming back to possess it a bit more. So that's a learning for the next game. I think regardless if we're playing in the wind or not, that will help the Southern side's game.
The wind really was a difficult factor, wasn't it? And there we just saw a shot from you, Melinda, which the keeper turned wide.
Yes, yes.
You placed that?
I did. I made a decision not to hoof it, if you will, and instead just really try to place it and pass it into the corner. Here's the next goal. Karina put that away nicely from a short corner.
That was a nice goal, Ken.
It was a good finish at the near post. Not often do you see the ladies making a run across the goalkeeper, but that was a good run across the keeper to the near post area, and that's where a lot of goals are scored.
The goalkeeper a bit lucky there, Melinda.
I don't know if I'd ever say Izzy is lucky. I think she's a fantastic keeper with incredible tenacity and a lot of confidence, so she did an excellent job for us.
Yeah, I thought it was a good game. They put up a good fight, and yeah, obviously they won in the end, but I don't know, next game I reckon we'll... Yeah, well, I think at the start, I reckon we had like 70% of the play. I thought we were really good, and the girls played really well. Like, we've only had 3 or 4 trainings, and not everyone's been like made at all of them, so yeah, it's sort of hard to play as a team for the first time, and yeah, but I think we did pretty well considering.
It was a good win. It was an excellent team effort. Very pleased, very proud of the girls. Oh yes, we missed 3 or 4 chances, but they came through when they needed to. So the last 10 minutes, when we usually sort of like peter out in most games, no, they did well. They've come through.
Well, there we have the women's game. South beating North 2-0 with the return leg next week in Launceston. Now, Ken, the senior men's game, it was a real surprise result.
Yeah, I think it was. It was a shock result, really. Again, the conditions weren't good. The ground was hard and bumpy, and the wind was obviously a big factor in the game. And there's no doubt about it that the northern side handled the conditions a lot better than the southern lads.
We just saw Chris McKenna, the number 12 for the North there. You quite rate him, Melinda.
Oh, I rate his name. It's the same as my daughter's. So
Okay.
probably haven't seen him play enough to rate him.
Ken, the South had enough of the play, but they didn't seem to create chances.
They did have a lot of possession, and the possessions were generally in areas around midfield, coming out of the back third. I mean, possession for me is for a purpose, and that purpose is to score goals, and you need to attack high areas, you need to get in behind defenders, and in this particular game the lads just didn't do that. While the northern side on the counter-attack did very well at getting in behind them, especially in the right-back position. They seem to be able to find space in those areas.
How did you rate Daniel White's performance? Here we see him on the ball taking on the North defence.
A little bit like we were talking earlier, that the players maybe haven't trained a lot together and are new to each other, and you know, they're taking up each other's positions rather than playing off each other. And I thought at times on the ball Danny did quite well. He shows good pace. I think if he worked a little bit like Kite of Liverpool at shutting people down, chasing the ball down with his speed and aggression, it would make him a much better player.
And now we see the first goal for the North, a terrible error by the goalkeeper, Nathan Pitchford.
Yeah, he's not in a good position either. He's shown him a lot of the near post region as well to hit. You know, I think he should have done better all round by covering the near post and getting his body behind it rather than stooping for it.
He was probably still thinking about the previous evening, Ken, when he actually scored a goal for Newtown Eagles with a free kick, so I guess we can forgive him.
Yeah, we'll have to forgive him for that one.
And what about Igor? He didn't produce his normal, it didn't have his normal impact on the game.
No, he's not as fit as he should be now, Igor. He's got a lovely left foot on him and a nice touch, but he needs to work on his fitness levels. I remember him in his first game against us in the league when he took Davy Cooper on the outside and absolutely killed him. But he stopped doing that now. But he's another player with great potential, and I'm sure he'll do better in the next game.
Melinda, another one of your claims to fame is that you've actually played senior men's football in Tasmania. How do you assess the standard?
Exciting, I guess, the soccer, getting to have the North-South series and getting to see the competition here. It's fantastic to be able to have all these players challenging one another and getting the best blokes and the best females together to challenge one another.
Sean Howe had a good game, Ken.
I thought he was strong in midfield, Walter. He was quite physical in there, winning the ball, but his distribution was good as well in front of the back four.
Well, you spoke to me during the week there, and you knew we had a few pull-outs, and we even had 2 pull-outs this morning. We had 11 fresh players, and as you can see with that last-minute substitute, he's a goalkeeper, plays for Riverside, Young Joy, and even he on the score sheet, which was excellent. I think it was we've worked hard. We play good soccer up north. I think our lads had a bit more endeavour today. They fought for everything, never gave them any time on the ball. You know, this is my 3rd week in a row, and I think I'm learning how they play. So I think we done very well.
We had, I think, 75, 80 minutes to play and never scored a goal. No answer to what went wrong. I mean, we're just going to analyse each person's game in here now and forget about it, move on to next week. Oh well, we'll bounce back. I'm very positive that we'll bounce back. I've no problem at all like that.